Hey, this is Timmara signing on with Titan Souls. Okay, first recording of 2023 and we're already halfway through the first month. Anyways, Titan Souls. I got a lot to say and I want to get started though. Actually, I should really adjust. Actually, I'll see how audio sounds when we start. Anyways, Titan Souls. Released in early 2015 by Acid Nerve, a two-person indie developer that, yeah, this was their first game, and it was pretty successful. And most recently in 2020, Acid Nerve released their second game, Death's Door, which I really like, and I'm working on a little project related to that right now. And so I was inspired to go back to their first game just to do, just to brush up on it. And long story short, after doing some research and looking back on it and seeing some parallels, frickin' phone, I found more inspiration. And I go, why not play Titan Souls on the channel? Now, what I'm going to do, and I think I'll tackle this in just a one video long play, if you will, with commentary. So if you're into that sort of thing. So, with that being said, yeah, just that. So we're just going to do one shot, and I've actually played through the game a couple of times, and now I got my records of when I played the game, because my friend first showed me this in 2016, late 2016, because it wasn't long after he showed me that, I bought it for myself. I'm playing this on PlayStation 4, base PS4, and then beat it myself, but this was my very first save file. And a little under 3 hours, almost 200 deaths, and turns out I had missed a couple of bosses in my first playthrough. Well, I knew that after I played the game, and just every time I went to go back to it, I just never got on with it again for some reason. But coming back to it, I've done some more recent playthroughs. This was my first replay, so you can see, about an hour shaved off, less, an hour shaved off, almost half the deaths, and I found the rest of the bosses. And then my third run, and, very good, less deaths, less time. Then my fourth run, which I'm surprised is, less time, but more deaths. But anyways, so I was just going to play Titan Souls. So, sorry, I'm babbling, getting onto this long play very slowly. Now, mainly I'm going to be rambling a bit. My goal is to beat the game in under an hour with under 50 deaths. That's ideal. I'm not going to hold myself to that. I'm not going to get bummed out if I don't make that. But that's kind of my baseline. I kind of want to beat my, current record, if you will. I know this is a big speedrunning game, but I'm not doing that. I'm not going that far. So, sorry, we're going to get into it. New game, and, we got hard mode, which increased the difficulty of everything. I keep trying to play a hard mode playthrough, and it just drives me insane, so I'm not going to. Iron mode, one life, no. Truth mode, yeah. Basically, that's what you get for getting the original ending, not the original ending, for getting the secret ending for beating all the bosses, where, it translates to text that is, in, not gibberish, but we'll get to that. But I'm turning that on just for the sake of, showing off every boss's name and extras text and such. It also changes some dialogue, what little dialogue there is, and I'll cover that when we get to it. No rolls, cannot roll or run. I don't know how you could survive most of these fights with that. And then cross-save, which is just, yeah, if you're playing this on PSP or something. But anyways, so we activated the truth, and we're going to start. And I'll go more into... There we go. I feel like... Okay. Sorry, I thought that cutscene was extended. Now, I don't know how this is gonna... I'll check the audio, because I think it might be a bit loud. But anyways, so what we have is we got our arrow. And that's mainly our skill set. We got some nice pixel art, as we got a little boy with a single arrow that he can fire and then call back to him. And then we got our dodge roll. And mainly this is just a boss rush. Explore through a little open world and find... I think the audio is too loud. Hold on. I'm going to turn it down just a touch more. That might be too much. Okay, either way. So, yeah. Little checkpoint. Those are what act as our checkpoints. And to open these doors, smack them in the eye. And so, yeah, we got some boss rushes. And, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be babbling. I'm going to be talking about, like, my experience with the game, lore, boss strategies, ranging from stuff I saw in speedruns to some, like, other stuff I thought was fun, you know. And that's just, I'm just going to babble on, because I've watched some lore videos recently from Solar Petals, or no, Solar Pellets, sorry, who did some very good lore videos on Titan Souls. And, you know, I'll be cross-referencing that a lot, admittedly, some of my own stuff, and just some other things, you know, strewn about, because, you know, brushing up on the lore, and then also some stuff that comes up in Death's Door, you know, coming back to this, it's actually, clarified some stuff that happens in Death's Door, so that's kind of what drove me to this. Anyways, I'm jabbering while we got this first boss next to us. A heart inside of a goo pile, so... Like a Zelda boss, how did I miss that? Like a Zelda Chew, Sludgeheart, Heart of the Guardian. And yeah, like a Zelda Chew, it just splits apart every time we damage it. You know, the more it splits open, the faster the parts get. Oop, and I was really slowed down there. I don't know why I did that. That was the most dangerous thing I could have done. Whoop. And then sitting in the sludge piles is actually very dangerous for us, because it slows us down for a little bit. Come on, let's not have this guy be our first death. There we go. Okay. And yeah, all the bosses, you just need one good shot. We took out his barrier, and now when we try to call our arrow back, we basically absorb its soul, you know, clarifying. One down. So, what did any of that mean? Good question. Even lore videos like Solar Pellets, you know, it's a lot of conjecture and kind of like cross-referencing like names and story details from like Judaism and, you know, biblical stories, and we'll get to that. So, you know, first that was the heart. Now let's go through here. And, you know, who is our character? Well, the name that we go by here, sorry, I'm going out of pace here. But our character's name, as far as we know, is just Adam. I don't even know if there's a way to find that out in-game, but there you go. Okay, and then this... Nope. There we go. Stepping in his brain juice is slowing us down. Damn, I'm trying to do something, but I don't know if it's even possible. Nope, no. Ah, damn it. I got stuck in the brain. There's a trophy I was trying to get where you kill the brain using a flaming arrow. First death. I could have ended that. That was stupid of me to even try. You know, I know the boss patterns here, and I got ideas. And, you know, it's like, I haven't done this, like, way of killing it before. Let's try this. Big mistake. Okay, he's gonna slide. Yeah, so he's just like this slippery ice cube, and you gotta get him to hit those pressure plates. There we go. And then, you know, hit the pressure plate so you get the fire in the middle, then shoot your arrow through the flame in order to melt the cube around him. After that, he's very slow, easy to read. But, again, there's a trophy for killing him with a flaming arrow, and I don't know how you pull that off. I didn't even read his name. It completely slipped my mind. I'm sorry. I forget what that's even called. Brain something. I got some, you know, trivia and stuff pulled up that I'm hoping I'll get to. Anyways, so heart, brain, what we got here? And we got this cubey thing. And it rolls. And shoots a laser when it flips over 5 times? Or 4. Wait, no. 4th time, sorry. And so it's like, you know, the eye's the obvious weak point, so how do we... Whoops, I miscalculated. I had a strategy, because there's a very easy way to kill that thing, where, well, let's... You know, there's a couple of strategies, but mainly the one I'm trying to go for, just because it's, you know... Because what you can do is that you can just shoot the arrow at him, and then the first, like, 2 times he flips, his eye will be facing... No, the 3rd time you can shoot the arrow, he will go over the arrow, and then you can call it back, and it goes right into his eye as he's coming at you. Pick up my arrow. What I'm trying to set him up for... Nope. I miscounted. If you get him to shoot at the ground, I could finish this easy, but I'm trying not to just do speedrun strats. Or, you know, trying to do things my own unique way, and that's already 3 deaths. Okay. If you... God, how did I miscalculate that? I'm stupid. Sorry. I'm trying to be all cool. It's just like, and I'll show you the... Well, you know, not optimal strats, but some good ones. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try that one more time. Okay. I'm gonna try to do what I'm doing. Nope. Yeah, that's what I need him to do, but I need my arrow. Where if he shoots at the ground... Damn it. If he shoots at the ground, at least in my experience, he always faces downwards, you know, towards the bottom of the screen, you know, after he does that flip. So if you can time it right where, you know, he flips on... His last flip is onto his eye, he shoots up, and you can get in front of him, you get the good shot. Damn it, I still messed up. I was trying to make that simple for me. I still messed up. Man, okay, I just have to do better on other bosses. You know, this one, you know, a lot of the... Pretty much all the bosses in this game are pretty tricky. You know, you're trying to get, like... There, like that. You know, because when, you know, the arrow is still active when you call it back to you. If it has enough build-up, it doesn't need much, and it can still be a fatal shot. But, yeah. I could have did that right away if I wasn't just trying to blaze through this and I'm trying to give genuine tips here. So, you know, there we go, eyeball. And, you know, honestly, stuff I did not figure out until I watched the lore video is just sort of like, eye, heart, brain. Wonder what those are from. Maybe this guy, who's missing an eye, missing a brain, has a big scar where his heart should be. Okay, but Gol-Iath, Guardian, I missed the name. And yeah, we're dodging his fists. Oops. I just rolled into his knuckle and bounced off of him. Okay. While I'm talking, I wasn't getting up my good shot. But basically, you know, we gotta attack his chest. And so we need both hands out of the way in order to pull that off. So let's try this again. Gol-Iath, Guardian of the First Gate. Are you kidding me? So yeah, we're getting into it. We're going to get more into lore stuff and speculation, you know, later on, once we cracked out a couple of these guys. Okay, if I got my timing right. There we go. Yeah, that's all you need. You know, it's like you gotta dodge one hand, sometimes he slams down twice, and then when he goes to lift the other one, you gotta be in a good spot to, like, get that direct chest shot on. But there we go. You know, felled the Goliath. Well, who are we? David? And that will come up. So anyways, we got through, like, the first area, you know, like, this is the, you know, this is the culling, this is the litmus test, where it's just sort of like, okay, where are you at? Am I using litmus test right? I'll have to check that. Where it's like, you gotta beat this before you can get onto the hard stuff. Hold on. This is also published by Devolver Digital. You know, Devolver Digital has a great track record, in my opinion. So, you know, it's like, you know, whatever their hands on, whatever their hands are on, you know it's good, is kind of where I'm at. Litmus test, a decisively indicative test. Yeah, that works. Test of acidity or alkalinity in litmus. Not what I'm after. Sorry, I'm double checking. It's like I've been saying litmus test a lot. Am I using that right? Anyways, so yeah. And a mural there, a bow, an arrow, an eye, and a person in the center. What's that all about? you know, there's some things, I'm not going to run around and, like, find, like, every little lore detail and, you know, find all the murals, because some of them are a little hidden, and, you know, I'm trying to do this quickly while also being, like, you know, concise and annoying. Just talking at almost every second. So I hope you enjoy that sort of thing, because I know long plays don't usually have a lot of commentary. You know, that's usually, you know, they have to specify, you know, long play of such and such, no commentary. Because sometimes that's not what people are looking for. And I understand that, where you just want the silence, let the game speak for itself, and then just let it go. It's just, and I've thought about just doing commentary-less long plays, but, you know, there's so many out there, you know, whatever I would play is already covered. So, why not do Jabberjaw's long play? So that's just what I'm going with. Now, I go to this top, I kind of have, like, found a setup where, you know, I go to this top left area first, and then I kind of make my way down into a U shape, if you will. You'll see what I mean when we lay it out. But, Snowy Mountains first. So, yeah, we're into the snowy area. We got snow piles that we can just ram into. We got torches, and kind of like what we learned with, you know, the brain, we can light arrow and light torches. There is, you know, there's a world to explore, but there's really nothing to find besides just, like, bosses and maybe some hidden murals that aren't, conducive to completion or anything. So, you know, I'm just going to go through my straightforward path. But anyways, so yeah, we light up these torches, light up that spot, and there we go. We have an open thing. Whoops. Okay, well, our arrow will follow us. Alright, we're on to the next boss, as you can see it swimming below us. This one, you know, this one's not hard. It's just like, this one's a little, like, specific. Onyxia, Serpent of the Cold Depths. Oh, no, no. Ah, I had the perfect shot. Okay. Yeah, this one, you know, I always got confused on this one, where it's just sort of like, well, what do you... Whoops. Damn. Yeah, what do you hit on this one? Like, the big jewel in the center? No, you gotta hit its tail. While, you know, on these little icebergs... Whoops. And, you know, you can use the pull of your arrow to move around a little bit. And you gotta hit the gem on the tail, which is, you know, easier said than done in some cases. He's gonna hit that, yeah. And, you know, destroy icebergs every third, like, you know, jump out of the water it does. Nope. Yeah, every third jump out of the water it does, it gathers electricity, and then will do this electric storm, which, you know, if you're in the water, you're dead. So... Damn. So, every iceberg that's destroyed, you lose a platform. Oh, I am screwed, aren't I? I can't call my arrow back while I'm swimming. Uh-oh, this is bad. Because if he destroys that, iceberg, I'm dead. Titanic. I got nowhere to go. Nothing's gonna drop fast enough, so I get fried. I remember seeing that trophy where, yeah, you get, for destroying all the icebergs, you get the trophy. Not good for you. But anyways, on these, like, little checkpoint panels, I always forget to actually step on them, so I usually have to run back from other checkpoints. But, you know, they show you the nodes of, like, what bosses are in the general area. So here we got 3 bosses, you know. With Gol-Iath, there was 4 bosses, you know. So let's try this again. So yeah, this one's not difficult. It's just, like, getting off that one shot is a little finicky. And, you know, I try to close the gap between... There we go. That's all I needed to do. It's just like the one shot. It's, you know, if you can get off that perfect moment, you're golden. It's just landing that shot sometimes. And that one's especially weird just because, like, you know, the flow of the tail as it jumps out and dives back in. So you gotta, like, you know, preferably have 2 icebergs close together so you can, you know, goad it into one, and so you can quickly get to the other fast enough where you can line up your shot. So a little tricky just to get the timing down, but we got it. Up here now, you know, I've got everything pretty well in my head. So we got another boss here. And look at this big guy. He's just chilling out and we're going to be bugging him. We're such a great guy. Dodge the snowballs. Whoops. And yeah, you get hit by a snowball, you get flung. And if you're too close to a wall, you just get splattered. And then he does that barrel roll at you. And you can, well, you know, how I'm going to time things. At least how I should be able to time things. Just barely nicked him. Whoop. Ah, damn it. Miscalculated that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to make the 50 deaths, under 50 deaths at this rate. Now, biggest thing is like, you know, where, you know, where's the target on this guy? Well, whoops! Ah, got held up on the icicle. Damn it. I would have been golden if I hadn't. I would have had that down. I know it. Yeah, so he does that roll, and then when he hits a wall, you know, it causes stuff to fall down from the ceiling. Which, odd parallels to Betty, if you've played Death's Door, where there's another, you know, well, just like a female Yeti creature that you fight, and it operates very close to this one. So, you know, that's just like an interesting parallel. Well, one of the interesting parallels, you know, you can find between these two games. But the crevice, you know, grows deeper, actually. I'm not going to try to be, like... Okay. Get behind him, and in the butt. It makes you feel bad, but yeah, that's the softest part of his body. Which, on one hand, that kind of feels like a joke, but, you know, you also feel bad where you just, like, walked into this guy's home and have just, like, shot him directly into his butt. There's kind of a... No, sorry. Just a weird notification on my phone. It's like, what is that? Oh, it's nothing. But, you know, you could describe this as, and this is how I've pitched it to some people, as indie Shadow of the Colossus, where you kind of got like that similar vibe. You are a small boy, a small figure, going into this massive world, and as you travel like these big open spaces, just finding these creatures that seem to be just minding their own business, and you have to come along and cap them. Okay, Stratus, Child of Mountain and Sky. Yeah, this one's a little... There we go. Yeah, just directly into the teeth. And there's another trophy for, like, breaking all of his teeth first, but, you know, making it simple. And, you know, you just gotta guide that laser, destroy, you know, make room for the arrow, you know, whether it be, like, you take one and have a good shot, you're done. Otherwise, you can break more teeth just to give you more margin for error and, you know, but there you have it. And that's Stratus. That's just another golem-like entity down. And with that, we're done with the snowy area already. What's our time? Well, 23 minutes on the clock, and I spent like 5-10 minutes just rambling, so you know. You know, my goal is for game time to be under an hour. Don't know how this will go. Nope, not there. So yeah, this is just like the snowy area. Just like going through the different biomes. And from snow, we head straight down into the fire. Whoops. Sorry, I accidentally put my hand down on my headphone cable. So, yeah. Now we're into the flamey area. You know, nice little ditty here. Now, you know, on my first playthrough, this probably has one of the hardest bosses in this game. You know, we'll get there. Should we do him first? No, we'll come back to him. Okay, we'll go to this guy first. And so, yeah, this is one of the bosses here. Now, there's a very fast way to finish this fight, but I want to try to do this, you know. We just got, like, a big molten ball with an eye. Whoops, and we're trampled. Now, a speedrun strat, well, let's try it a couple more times and see if we can get, like, a good shot off on it. Otherwise, I will do, like, the speedrun strat, if you will, or at least something I saw in a Games Done Quick speedrun. Damn it. That thing moves so fast. try this again. Yeah, this thing moves so quickly. Rol-Qayin, Forge Creation of Gol-Qayin. Oh, that actually worked! I did not think that was gonna hit. I thought his eye was too covered, but I guess you can't see it, but I guess it landed, so cool. So there we have it. That worked out great. Like the speedrun strat, you know, I've watched is, yeah, when you enter the room, you fire from here once it gets going, and if you time it right on the first roll, his eye lines up, you know, about to when you reach this point. So if you can move very fast and have a good reflex, you can just prick him in the eye, like right when he gets to about here in his roll. You know, it was like, I can't remember the name of the guy in the GDQ speedrun. But, you know, he talked about, it's like, that always gives me a heart attack because it is such a precise shot and, you know, you just have this thing barreling towards you. Now, one of the bosses I missed in my first playthrough, I didn't realize, was actually behind this lava fall here. And we got this adorable little guy. Just looks like, you know, it kind of looks like a feminine slime with, like, a little bow for its, bow for crystals. Ah, damn. Yeah, and this one's pretty simple too. Ah, shoot. Oh, crap. Damn, okay. Yeah, but that's the goal. You... Shoot. Okay. I need to get my arrow in you. Don't take that out of context. There we go. Okay, once it swallowed the arrow. That's too dangerous. Nope, I was trying to align things in a different way. Ah, damn it. I saw a trick earlier and I can't replicate it. You know, you can do this one pretty quick if you just line things up just right. I'm stuck. Not dead. Hit the thing. Damn, okay. That explosion and I ran right into it. Well, ran right into it where it got me caught in the suction range. I'm gonna try that again. You know, not difficult. Well, if you can get things to line up just right. So yeah, swallow the arrow. Nope. Hit the blum. Hit that. There you go. Just like that. Yeah, once it, you know, drawn into its bombs, or there's a trophy for getting the bomb to land on top of it, which, you know, I guess if you get it close up to the wall where it's the bomb's got very little room to move, yeah, do that. But there you have it. But yeah, you can do it very quick if you can just, like, get them to swallow the arrow, roll them into the first bomb, and just, like, you know, as soon as it erupts and you're holding the button down anyways, your arrow gets called back to you as you can just make your quick shot while you're just being encroached by lava at every angle. Okay, one more boss to go here. But down here, you can see what looks like a body. You know, a golem body, kind of, you know, akin to some of the stuff we've seen. Except, well, those didn't really have bodies, but, or parts that, not that massive. Now over here appears to be the head of possibly that creature, with the same skeletal look to its face and body. Now, this is probably one of the harder bosses in the game. Gol-Qayin, Disgraced Guardian of the Second Gate. Gol-Qayin, Qayin, I'm not sure, I've heard different pronunciations. Now this one's really annoying, honestly, because it's got long reach. Okay. Damn it! Timing. So, yeah, that one's a little difficult. It's got, like, its, flails for arms on very, like, long, springy chains, and then it just stretches out, and just occasionally, I don't know if there's a way to goad it out, I've not seen anything, but once it does its spin is kind of the best moment to attack, Because either if your aim is good, you can get your arrow into its back there while it's spinning, or you have a couple of seconds after it stops spinning. If I can just get him to do it. That's the thing. This is what happens when I fight this guy, is he just chases me around the arena multiple times. And I just can't get him to do his spin. Spin! And, you know, we got also the cracks in the floor, so flaming geysers will occur every once in a while. Come on. This is what happens when I fight this guy. Just do the thing! Nope. No, he's just rubbing it in. He still didn't spin. I don't know. Is there a way to goat that? I suppose maybe I missed a detail in the speed run. It happened so quick. But this is just what happens with Gol-Qayin. He just does this to me. Just spin. Nope. I don't know how I dodged even one of those and I panicked. So when he spins, the thing is, when he spins, and I already got the trophy for it, where I had really good luck with him on my, first replay, where I managed to, nail him in the back while he was in the middle of the spin, and that felt awesome, and every chance I get, I'm trying to recreate that, and I've just not had that luck since. So now it's just like, there's a brief moment when he stops spinning. Okay, let's see. Damn it! I choked there. I miscounted. Because when he starts spinning, there are 9 bangs. The flails will, lift up and bang on the ground 9 times. And then it stops, and then he's vulnerable for like 3 seconds or something. So if you can time, the 9 bangs to when and figure out like where he's going to stop, you can get the perfect angle on him while he's completely vulnerable. The screen shaking isn't helping either. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn it! Ah, if he was a little bit angled, that callback probably could have got him. Damn. Trust me, I've tried that too, where it's like, 9 times, and then he stops, and then you have the perfect moment to shoot. I wound up my arrow for a bit too long. This is definitely one of the harder bosses, and, I just have bad luck with him. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... I don't know why. I can probably run through his chains. Sorry, I'm trying to be mathematical about it. And again, sometimes when he's spinning, you can just get that perfect shot on if he's turned the right way and you have enough distance. Or again, my 9 count, and then, depending on where his back is. And I'm just, while you're focused counting, you're not focusing on where he's going to stop. That was too early. It's just like, he's lifting the chains up in such a way where that's how I'm dodging them on accident. And so I panic and just like, well, I'm dead. No, I'm alive. Wait, I should be dead right now. Why am I not dead? I'm not even counting how many times I've died to him already. Damn it! I'm mistiming it. Again, I say this is one of the hardest ones just because, like, you have such a little margin for error and he has such weird range and it makes it, like, hard to... my arrow's stuck. and I don't have a minute to pause. At least you can, you can pick up your arrow regularly. Come on! Okay. Ah! I was like, he's gonna stop. I knew he was gonna stop with his back towards... Yeah. Okay. I'm not cutting anything. Like I said, one shot. This is just like, this is the problem I have. If you hit the wrecking ball, technically it doesn't count. I suppose this is a good time to bring up... Well, hold on. Damn it! I got too distracted on the count, and then, like, I'm counting in my head while my eyes are trying to track, like, where's he gonna stop, and I just get flustered. I'm already over my quota. Like, if I already wasn't messing up, I'm definitely not gonna meet 50. I'd have to beat everything else perfectly in order to, like, meet my quota. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn it! Oh, the back could have also gotten him. I suppose that's the second lineup, but Damn it! For some reason, I thought, like, well, maybe the back arrow can get him. No, I didn't line up well enough. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, yes, I'm making one cut. That just weird crash. But, we're, like, halfway through already. Halfway through the bosses, roughly. And, already halfway to my quota, so I'd have to play pretty well to not go over 50. But, probably not going to make it, but oh well. And we're also a half hour in. My goal was to be under an hour, which I think we'll still be able to make that. Just once we get past him, he is, again, one of the toughest bosses in this, I feel. Just because, like, he doesn't have, like, a good set pattern. Because, it's like, or maybe he does, and I'm just not. I lost count, so let's see where he ends up. Damn it, if I had not done that. I guess usually he's facing back to you. Whatever. Okay, so let's see if we can beat him before 30. So that's death 28. Ah, God, if I had dodged to the right, I would have been fine. That was my instinct. I just didn't want to be in a corner. 29. Let's see if we can beat him before 30, or at least not before 31. God, that was not a good angle for that. Whoops. I don't know why I thought I would be safe. Damn it. Okay, death 30. I've probably at least died 10 times to him already, so let's see if we can get under... See if we can beat him before 31. Like, yeah, his pattern, and maybe I'm picking up on something where once he adjusts himself, like, 3 times, he then, goes into the spin, or at least twice. Okay, then 3rd time, and around the 3rd adjustment, he starts the spin. I've lost count where he's at. Damn it! I shot the arrow too hard. He's just the guy I get stuck on. Come on, we're gonna get it. And then after this, it should be pretty smooth. He's got good strategies. Okay, so you dodge in awkward ways. You dodge. And so when he adjusts himself, or needs to adjust himself... What the... Okay, I swear that killed... I swear I should have been dead, because I swear I got caught on his thing, but I guess not. Now, how do I get him to adjust himself for a third time? Oh! Damn it! That was a good angle I had on him, and I just couldn't make do with it. I couldn't capitalize on it. Okay, so second adjustment, so now when he makes his third... I lost count. Please take your backs to me. Nope. Okay, first adjustment. Second adjustment. Third adjustment. Damn. I ran into the fire pillar. Sorry, I was distracted on him. Damn it. Come on, let's not... This is probably like the well, I don't know. Maybe I had like... This... I probably had more trouble with him, you know, in my first playthrough, obviously. But this is probably like this is like the longest I've been stuck on him in a playthrough since that very first one. Okay, so get behind him. That's how you force the adjustments. Yes! Finally! Okay, I finally got him down, I think. You get behind him, makes the adjustment, on the third adjustment to face you, that's when he goes into the spin. And then, yeah, while he's spinning, that's either the best chance to wait for the 9 count in order for him, you know, to figure out where his back is going to be, which usually, how he spins, he's usually to your front. But then, you know, either you hit him during the spin, or you find that perfect opportunity to hit him in the back, or, you know, after he's on cooldown. Okay, I finally got the pattern down. I knew he was the one I was going to struggle with. So if I just spent my time and, like, looked at the, like, the speedrun strat again or something, or, like, looked in some more details, I could have mitigated that problem for me. But no, because I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be too disparaging. But anyways, we got another mural. Looks like, yeah, like a golem with 2 other golems. Anyways, sorry, I'm trying to, like, I was going to bring into, like, some lore bits, but, you know, like, Solar Pellets, points out, is, you know, there's actually a lot of, connections to Judaism here. And how, he phrases it is that, sorry, Gol-Qayin, or Gol-Qayin, but, you know, I guess Qayin, sorry, is the Hebrew name, or, you know, the Hebrew pronunciation or Hebrew name for Cain, from the Cain and Abel duo. And, you know, if that's Cain, well, actually, I didn't even realize these, you know, he's that way, symbol of him, Cain. That leads down to, well, just a spot. That should be Gol-Iath. Gol-Iath. Okay, that's, I forget the name pronunciation. And that's Set. Okay, actually, that's very interesting. I didn't even realize that. But anyways, that's Gol-Qayin, who, you know, Hebrew name for, yeah, Cain, as in, you know, Cain and Abel. So if he's Cain, and what he's famous for is killing his brother Abel, so where's Abel? Well, we'll get there. But anyways, this was another boss I missed in my first playthrough. And yeah, here's the thing. I remember seeing, like, that's a weird thing, and I swear I hit it with my arrow the first time, like, thinking it was a switch, then nothing happened, and then I looked it up afterwards, and just like, nope, that's what you're supposed to do. So it's like, why didn't it trigger then? But here we go. Here's another boss. Hey, a big treasure chest. Finally, some loot. Of course, Avarice, manifestation of greed. Now, this boss is actually pretty easy. 2 hops, open mouth, there you go. I'm not even going to linger on that one, just because, like, this is perfectly lined up. But yeah, just like this giant mimic, and again, pretty simple. But what it does, if I gave it more time to breathe, is that it tosses out gold coins that kind of work as obstacles. So it just spits out coins that get in your way. So the longer the battle draws on, the longer the battle draws on, the more coins are littering the ground, blocking your, movement. So what you can do, and what he does is, yeah, he spits out the big cluster. Then when he does that double bounce and stops, that's the prime chance to attack. And what he does is spit out another gold coin after that. So if you prolong the battle, and there is a trophy for like having like 50 coins out at once, but you have to have so much, it limits your movement so much. But, so yeah, Avarice, giant mimic. Now in here is one of the more faint, or, I guess more popular and, cool bosses. But we got like a guy in armor over here, and we got an arrow that looks kind of like ours. Knight Elhanan, Legendary Titan Slayer. Okay, now this is an interesting boss, and I got a strategy for this. So what he does, he fires this arrow here. Dodge, or, sit behind a pillar. But then he keeps firing arrows at us. And now what we need to do... Perfect. Yes! Okay, that was just enough. Okay, yeah, so you have to hit the arrow, that reveals the skeleton, and that's when you can get the shot off. And kind of the strategy, or at least what I did, and kind of what I did there, is after like 2 shots, when the arrow is pretty slow, you get as close to it as you can. You try to be in the arrow's, you try to be in the big arrow's trajectory, and then you hit it as close as you can. Because what that does is it bounces your arrow, it bounces your arrow back to you off of that one, and that you collect it immediately, meaning you're ready for your next shot. Because otherwise, if you hit it when it's like far away, it takes time for your arrow to come back when he's in his vulnerable state. So if you can set it up right where if your arrow shot can bounce off of his arrow and back into your quiver, you got the perfect opportunity to take him down. There was a lot of delay there, and it still landed, so that was good timing. But anyways, so yeah, that's the 2 bosses in this area. And just here, yeah, I was wondering what this meant, and I kind of figured it out on accident, but right, left, up, and then this kind of like weird diamond shape thing there, and that'll come up. But, there are some hidden things you can find to tell you how to go to certain areas or do certain things. But now we go this way. And I always make this mistake because, like, okay, the next couple of bosses are this way. Go up because that's where the path continues. No. You go this way, and, this leads to another spot with bosses. That leads you upwards. We'll have to go back up there later to get, like, the last, like, the top right corner, if you will. Right now, we're in the bottom right. The snowy mountains are basically like top left, lava stream and everything, bottom left, here, bottom right, like these grassy areas with like these titans and weird bosses, bottom right, upwards is like foresty areas, top right, and then the center is the boss, they're the ending. So we got this guy. Now I got a good strategy for this, so this should go off. Gol-Hevel. Hevel? Gol-Hevel? Okay, Murdered Guardian of the Second Gate. So, Murderer... I thought my arrow would hit him first, so I'm just like, I don't need to dodge what he's shooting next. But Gol-Hevel. So this is like, Murdered Guardian of the Second Gate. Who could have murdered him? Well, Hevel is, I guess, the Hebrew name for, Abel, So... Who could have murdered Abel? How about his brother Cain? For some reason, I'm like, I'm in the perfect spot to dodge this. Nope. So, basically, we have to hit him in the back, and the best way to do that is by the callback. So, what I do, and I've seen people, like, set this up earlier, but, hit him there, and then I set my arrow up there, so when he drops down from there... I've seen people do it, like, instead setting up their arrow in, like, the top right, and then getting after him, like, earlier on. I did the same thing 3 times in a row. I sat in the exact same spot to get hit by the exact same projectile. There we go. I kind of nicked him. That almost shouldn't have counted, I think. But there you go. You know, on the call back, the arrow picks up the momentum it needs to stab him in the back when he's lining up for the shot. Usually, like, if you're not hearing him, he kind of, like, sits in the center of the area, and then when he moves, he kind of, like, keeps his back towards the wall. So if you can set it up right, you can just, like, get that in there, you know, when he's not paying attention. But yeah, the implication is, you know, again, following the, like, biblical analogs and naming conventions, that's Abel, and he was killed by the other guardian, Cain. You know, this is the assumption. And that, you know, his head or his mask, as some people refer to it as, you know, was the last thing remaining of him. Anyways, we're going to go up this direction now, and as you can see, there's the, you know, kind of little nick here. So you find that in a couple of spots where you just find, like, a little, you know, empty... In grass, you just find that empty patch, which leads you down to, like, another hidden path behind, like, all the mountains and such. I'm breathing. Trust me, I am. But up here, we're going to find another thing. It looks like... Actually, this is relevant to where we're going to next. It looks like a face with, like, a giant eye at the top. Alright. Now... what we're coming up on here changes depending on your difficulty and what you've done prior. So, well, we'll get going. Anyways. So it's up this way. I was the first life. The first soul born from truth. And from I came the first of you. And now we come full circle. The maker is unmade. And one day, you will fall to the same fate. Do what you must. So, who's speaking to us right now? This guy. This being, this top of this, you know, you can actually see the face we're on top of. This is like the third eye of possibly another Titan. We will do what we must. And so, you know, labeled as one of the bosses, but as, you know, the name is apparently the Elder. And he isn't putting up a fight, and either maybe, you know, now that I'm looking at this, yeah, maybe this is kind of like the Titan, what Titans were back in the day or something, and this was his body, but now for whatever reason it's inert. And so he just sits there and waits atop this mountain, which seems to be maybe a gigantic creature. Now actually a fast way to get back is just we quit the title and load back in. We go back to our last checkpoint, which is right back by Elhanan. Or, no, Hevel. But yeah, but speaking of Elhanan, I forgot to mention, but, you know, legendary Titan Slayer, and apparently Elhanan, you know, kind of argued amongst, okay, we're almost to an hour, I think we're going to go over an hour, and I think if I do everything right, we can get under my death total. So yeah, we're right back next to, yeah, Hevel. Hevel? Anyways, Abel? Anyways, sorry. But anyways, Elhanan. Another interesting detail, you know, that I learned from the Solar Pellets video, you know, talking about the different biblical connections, but, you know, and he talks about kind of the contested or, you know, argued about idea or, you know, name of Elhanan, the person who really slayed Goliath, you know, in the biblical stories. You know, I made the joke, David and Goliath. Well, you know, some people say Elhanan was the name of David before he became king, or he was just another warrior, or that Elhanan killed Goliath's brother. But at least in this story, you know, we have Elhanan, who, from the look of it, or, you know, from conjecture, maybe is the one who screwed up Gol-Iath, you know, the first golem boss at the beginning, and he's the one who tore apart his limbs, you know, separated his body from his brain, his eye, his heart, and maybe it was him. So that's just like an interesting idea. Anyways, so yeah, we're kind of in this like wonky forest. Now, I know the way around here because, yeah, we got our centerpiece there. And then, you know, if we go a certain direction, we just wind up back here. So you gotta do, you know, certain things in the right order in order to get through. And I stumbled upon the correct answer for one of the two bosses here. Where, you know, you just go up, left from the middle room, up again. There we go. 2 mushrooms and a door. So this leads us into one of the other bosses. So we got just a big mushroom top. Let's stab him. Obello, Malformed, Hallucinogenic, Fungus. Now this one's a little tough. It's kind of like the, you know, well, it's kind of like the cube with more mobility, except what it does is it sprays spores all around, and if you get hit by one of those spores, you're dead. Well, you can get hit by the cloud, but not the ball, and we gotta hit its eye, and kind of like the cube, you can get like a very good shot off, or, you know, you can get a good early shot off. Whoops. But I'm kind of being distracted dodging, and I'm also trying to get a trophy since I'm at it here, where if you're under the effects of the spore for so long. Any moment now. Come on. And yeah, we gotta hit its big dumb eye. And just the way he turns. Nope. Ah, I ran right into the spore. That was what I was trying not to do. I thought it was for like 30 seconds, or was it a minute? Okay, either way, there's a fast way to do that, and I think we're going to do that next. Where, you know, he jumps around as he turns, you know, you got to try and line up. Well, let's try that one more time, legitimately, before I just do my simple strats. Because what you can do is kind of like the cube. You can just bonk him, let him jump towards you once, and by the time you pulled in the arrow, it will hit him in the back, or, you know, hit him in the front from behind. Oh my god. I'm like, I'm going to run a circle around him and line him up for the shot. Nope. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do the trick. You know, if I could replay each boss fight, I'd try to do a legitimate, and then I'd try to do, like, the, you know, interesting, like, weird, fast way. Got one shot, and, you know. So, okay. Nope, I mistimed it. Okay, well, I messed up my shot, so let's... Whoops. Damn it. If I had backed up a little bit more, I probably could have gotten my distance. Okay, you know, you're trying to figure out, like, how can you line up, you know, when he jumps towards you without being hit by the spores. Okay, let's try this again, and maybe I'll time my, you know, crack shot better. Beat him before the hour on the clock. Nope, still missed. Yeah, but like that, but he's jumping over it, so my timing is off. And I apologize for that. Why did I think my my depth perception failed me on that, where it's just like, okay, I'm going to be just below him? Nope. Well, I was right below him. Right below his stock. Right below his stem, whatever you want to say. Okay, let's try this one more time. I'm trying to do the simple way, and I'm still failing that even. There we go. That's how that's supposed to work. You know, and that is what's kind of cool, is like, there are very fast ways you can beat a boss if you just know the timing. Or, you know these simple tricks. Some of these are actually very unassuming, and it's almost deceptive how, you know, quick you can end a fight. It just depends on your timing. And there we have that. So that's one of the forest bosses, and we just popped out the bottom. Now, kind of going on to the instruction we found earlier, go right, go left, go up towards that temple, you know? So that's what the instructions we found by Elhanan and Avarice is, you know, the secret pathway to get through this part of the forest. And I think the first time I played this was like, actually, I think after Gol-Iath, this was the first boss I fought against in this game, I think. I just bashed my head against that until I finally got the right combination to find the boss. But here we go. We got this guy, who's pretty simple now that I know a good strat. Vinthesis, poisonous flower. By the way, I messed up bad already, because I was looking at the name, I wasn't thinking about running. Anyways, the mushroom, it's just like a play on word of Portobello. So that's just what that is. Some of these have just like weird biblical, or, you know, interesting biblical ties and such. Some of them are just, you know, things that happen in the world. Okay, try this again. Here's my strategy. You know, okay, Vinthesis. Okay. The third slam, and also, when the vine is on the ground, you can sever it. But it leaves the vine where it, you know, it leaves the vine where it was cut. But that just gives you more margin of, you know, margin for, you know, lining up your next shot. And there you have it. You know, you just gotta, you know, if you follow him around to that spot, and, you know, you don't even have to, but you can cut off that extra vine just to give you some more, you know, room to maneuver when moving to the, you know, moving clockwise. But, you know, but where you cut off a vine, it stays there. So, you know, if this fight was still going, I could not run by it. It would be just lying there in the middle of the path, so I would die if I ran into it. But, you know, once he loops around once, you know, goes up once, you can cut off the vine for the sake of your safety, and then you can, you know, follow him back to nearly the starting position of where the fight started, and then you can open up the bud, and then follow him back to, you know, where you cut off the vine, and then get the direct shot right into, you know, effectively its heart. And now go to the left here, and that's that. You know, we are down to... We are back to, like, the center, you know, platform, how we got here. And, again, we've gone counterclockwise. Started the top left to the snow, bottom left to the fire, kind of like, bottom right to, like, grassy areas, and the four bosses kind of split up into two different sections, into, like, various gardens and temples. And then at the top right to the forests. And... you do not have to beat all bosses to end here. You just need, like, yeah, like 7 or 8 or whatever. But, you know, we got more than that. And if you get all the bosses, that leads to the, you know, the true ending. And I guess the bosses I missed were the, like, the magma slime, whose name I've forgotten, and Avarice. Now we are going on to the final stretch. So... you know, clock time over an hour, but I think game time we're still fine. I could check, but we'll find out here because there's some breakpoints. So anyways, as we make our way to the top of this tower with these eyes. I also, just something I like if you dodge roll downstairs, you just dodge roll all the way down the stairs. You know, the movement feels solid here. We got, like, another mural. Again, I'm not finding all the murals, so I'm skipping some lore bits. I'm trying to even remember the stuff I was going to originally talk about, but we're almost there. But yeah, it looks like a, you know, a humanoid figure bathed in light. Oh, something I was going to do, well, I can do that later. Because I was also going to, like, you know, the Elder changes dialogue depending on what you're doing. If you're playing on hard mode or truth, you know, if you're playing the game normally, he's the first time you hear any dialogue. You know, the first time you play through the game until you get the secret ending, you do not have the translated language. It's Titanese, which you can translate and figure out what letters mean, but truth mode you get from getting the secret ending just unlocks all that for the sake of time. There's the next... we are not at the boss fight yet. Gol-Set. Guardian of the Eternal Gate. This is... I can't get into the arena. I didn't know I could trigger him to do that. That is not optimal. What was I saying? Yeah, but the Elder changes dialogue depending on when you fight him. whether after if you meet him the first time on your base game, it changes to if you're playing in truth mode, which we're doing now, and then it changes if you beat the final boss, if you will, or one of the final bosses, and then going back to him. And I got a list of what he says, so I'll read that off here in a bit. Damn. Yeah, okay, this one's a little weird. I'll read that off here in a bit when I'm going through final thoughts and stuff, but okay, this golem, he's kind of the same thing as Goliath. He's got movable arms, laser beams, kind of like, Stratus, now that I think about it. Whoops. Come on, really? Damn, hold on. I didn't realize running into his still hand. Okay, that didn't work out as planned, because, yeah, the tricky thing about him is you have to get both fists onto a button, and while avoiding his lasers, whoops, and that opens up his weakness, but you have a second to hit it before he fires off a laser beam. And you have to watch out for his hands as they just go frantically at you. There we go. Perfect timing. It was still opening. And yeah, when you dodge the first fist, it's good to like aim up for the second shot and try to fire your shot either before the fist lands or very quickly, when the second fist lands, to line up your shot pretty much immediately after avoiding it, after you know you avoided it. But there we go. Gol-Set. Last of, these like golem figures. And again, also from the Solar Pellets video, talks about Set, or Seth, another son of Adam. Because, sorry, another son of Adam, brother to Cain and Abel, that he kind of gets ignored, I guess, because the whole Cain and Abel story. But yeah, sons of Adam, the first human, as you were. And, like I said, our character, as far as we know, is named Adam. What's up with that? Well, Pellets has a interesting idea on that, which I think he's right. Sorry, just something caught in the corner of my eye and I'm looking over. Anyways, up to one of the final bosses here. In this big arena, we got this guy bathed in kind of like how the other bosses have looked. And a lot of people just kind of like shoot at this immediately, but taking a look at this guy, he just seems to be like in a, Buddhist monk kind of stance, in this meditative state, as he's just sitting there, kind of oblivious to us, or knows we're here and doesn't mind. So, I got thoughts on that, but let's kill him. Your soul is mine. All right. So, this is an interesting thing, but let's start the fight. The soul. Image of the Titan soul. Now, yeah, he kind of plays basically like us. He's got the soul arrow. He's got different shots. If we use our arrow, just demonstrating, he will actually take our arrow from us and use it against us. And if we call it back while it's electrified, kind of like fighting Elhanan, that'll just kill us. As the soul, the embodiment of the Titan soul, and a figure that looks like us, that has adopted our fighting style. And I've got thoughts on that, but, let's finish him off first. And I think I found a pretty good strategy, where mainly it's the timing, where first take a shot at him, call your arrow back, dodge his first arrow, and then when he fires his second shot, that's when he starts separating from his body. There we go. That worked out so good. Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah, the soul is another one of like the toughest bosses in the game. A lot of people have you know, a lot of difficulty with him. But with that, we've absorbed the Titan Soul. Okay, we're not done yet, but that was a very good shot. Yeah, a lot of people have problems with the, you know, yeah, the soul. Sorry, yeah. Mark Foster, Andrew Gleason, David I forget which two of those three are actually the main developers, because it's a two-person team, but who they hire on are, you know, artists on top of that to just, like, put everything together. So I think maybe Fen... I'm not going to speculate. I forget. I watched the No Clip documentary, and I cannot remember their names. The No Clip documentary on Death's Door was another big inspiration for me coming back to Titan Souls. Very good video. I'll have to link that as well. But, you know. Anyways. No, yeah. The Soul is another really tough boss fight. I remember in the... Games Done Quick video, even he said just like, I thought this thing was actually impossible. This is a super difficult boss. And yeah, because if you try to line up the shot, it just separates from its body, and, you know, your arrow being out in the open, it can steal it from you, and if it does, it means, you know, you have to dodge multiple arrows, and you can't use your main form of attack for a while, and it's tough. And then, credits are already over. It's tough, but I just figured out the timing where... Oh, sorry. I just figured out the timing where after his second arrow shot, it doesn't matter if he dodges your arrow a second time, that just kind of worked out over an hour. Oh, well, I'm probably not going to make my quota, but that's fine. It's fine. But, you know, when he fires... I've also been jabbering, so a lot of that time has probably just been me talking and such, and most of those deaths are quiet. Keon, whatever. But yeah, after the soul fires his second arrow, that's when he starts separating from his body. So, but also when he fires his arrow, he shoots out those little soul pellets, so you gotta watch out for those too. But after that second arrow shot, you dodge the arrow, charge up, and line up your shot, and try to keep a bead on where he's moving and how he's going to separate from his body, or separate the body from the soul. And when you land that shot, it's over. And, you know, that fight's actually kind of like a little melancholy as well, because just like the sudden, it's not like the other bosses where it's just sort of like time stops when you know, land that hit. Against the soul, it's just kind of like sudden and a little dark, where it's just sort of like, it just goes quiet as you just see the little boy body replicating yours just fly on the edge of the arena and just flop down motionless. And it's just quiet before the soul finally enters into you, because you're not absorbing it from, you know, the arrow anymore and calling it back. You know, the soul is now separate from that body you just killed. And my theory, you know, something, well, I suppose, well, no, we can talk about, well, I suppose we should continue. Because that would be the end of the game, and that's how I finished it the first time. And I did look up I did look up that there was a secret boss after that, but I never got to it until recently. And there, after finding all the other Titans, we got, like, a new opening. Where does this lead? What cool thing is beyond this? I almost did it on the first try. Sorry, I just went silent because it's just like the dramatic and kind of like eeriness of this whole boss fight. But I basically showed you how to do it. Truth. This, you know. But we got truth. And, you know, first phase, he's got these wheels. Dodge, figure out where he's going to land. You know, slightly step away from the first shot. there you go. You know, dodge the 2 wheels, dodge roll away from the first one, step away from the third, and then get your shot. Then you got those things that, you know, those weird teeth things, those Tommyknocker things. You know, just deflect 3 of them, then you get the eye. You know, and then if you just miss the eye, you just gotta keep doing it. And then I almost landed it the first time. Damn, I still missed. But when you're eaten by that, you just go back to those eye-covered wheels. You know, you are just absorbed, basically consumed by truth. And this is a very trippy and fascinating boss fight for various reasons. You know, whatever direction he's rolling from is the direction he's going to be flying, you know, coming back to. Whoops. Okay, managed to hit those. There we go. That's a pretty simple phase. You know, this is a 3-phase fight. First one in this game, and you just have to get the right combination of things working for you. He has his eyes up in the air right now, so you hit these things, and then there you go. You hit 2 of them, and then the eye lowers just for that brief moment. If you can shoot past the third, you know, bitey thing into the eye, you win. And no one's gonna know what that means for 5 years. Because, yeah, what the hell just happened there? And it's not revealed until Death's Door, basically, where it kind of clarifies, you know, it kind of clarifies what happened there because it reveals that those 2 worlds are connected. I'm not going to get into all the details of that because that's a whole different thing. You know, this is about Titan Souls, not Death's Door. But, you know, play Death's Door as well. Watch my Let's Play of Death's Door. I did that, you know, in 2020, which was, you know, very good game. One of my favorites of that year. Behind another game, another indie game all about death. And I'll get to that later. Hopefully I get to those videos finally. But, you know, anyways. But, yeah. So, what the hell happened there? After claiming this Titan Soul, we then open a door that leads us to this strange, like, entity called Truth. And then after we kill it, it seems like it consumes us instead. And again, I never saw that in detail. I never got that ending when I originally played. And so, when I just saw it online, I'm like, what the hell is this? And then forgot about it. And then after playing Death's Door, it actually makes a lot more sense now on what Truth is as an entity. And now also, you know, listening to Solar Pellets and his theorizing, which a lot of his theorizing is actually unintentionally confirmed in the No-Clip documentary for Death's Door, where the developers actually talk about, it's like, yeah, these are elements we haven't really talked about, you know, a lot of the mythology in the background being set in Judaism, and, you know, some of these naming conventions that actually work into each other, you know, in a way, I don't know, I didn't look at the dates. I don't know if Solar Pellets' video came out before or after the No-Clip documentary, but I like to think if it came before, and then he saw the No-Clip about it, and, you know, I imagine he was very vindicated being right on a lot of ideas. And, you know, they talk about Truth and what it actually is, how it was inspired by Patrick Rothfuss' book. I don't know which one. He was on Critical Role, and that's how I know him. I know he's a fantasy writer. I have not seen any of his other stuff, but inspired by kind of like a Yggdrasil world tree like entity that just like is omniscient and knows everything and can kind of like dictate the course of any creature's life that comes in contact with it. And also inspired, I guess, you know, according to him, by Full Metal Alchemist, based on something that happens at the end there. I have not seen that either. So I don't have the context for either of those things. But truth just seems to be this... It seems to be, you know what it is. It's truth. It is like knowledge and knowing of all things, like the reality and whatever of all things. And from, you know, again, Solar Pellets is better, breaks this down and how he thinks everything went down. I'm going to dig into all of that. But the idea seems to be, you know, the world started with truth. This amorphous, omniscient entity that just existed. And, you know, seemingly no reason why. From truth, he created the Elder, that one singular eye that was talking to us. And, you know, I got his dialogue pulled up. Hang on. As he's got, like, other speeches depending, you know, his first speech, if you just go in, like, original playthrough, no truth mode, and, you know, find him before beating the soul. Ah, another broken soul seeking truth. Less encumbered than the last, you have paid a high toll indeed. For the abomination in your quiver. And for what? Knowledge? Power? I hope it was worth it. Do what you must. And, you know, from that dialogue, the implication seems to be, you know, a lot of people have done this quest. You know, a lot of people have died on this quest. And, you know, when he says, you know, you're less encumbered than the last person that showed up, well, the last person, well, you know, a person we see decked out in armor and other weapons is Elhanan. So could he have been on the quest to find and face truth, and then for whatever reason stopped his quest and then stopped? But it seems, you know, that there was a process to creating this arrow, this soul arrow as it's referred to, and it cost us something. And it seems like, you know, well, we can check something out real quick. But, you know, a little over an hour, one more death than my best run, so that's fine. But, anyways, no, let's not start. But if we do this first cutscene, I might have skipped this because I put my controller down and maybe I hit a trigger button. But, you know, going back to this cutscene, it kind of, going back to this original cutscene, it kind of clarifies some things. When you think about it that way, where a price to pay for the equipment you have, maybe what our character did, or Adam, as it were, split his soul into 3 pieces, you know, and part of that infused into his body, his his bow, and his arrow. So, you know, it cost him his soul to create this weapon that can kill, you know, deities, basically. And that seems to be the case. Because, you know, hold on, what was the other thing? And, you know, what we talked about when you, the Elder speech when you come back in Truth, where, you know, after beating Truth, that's when you unlock Truth mode, and that, you know, translates all the Titanese and dialogue, so you can actually see the names of the bosses and a couple of other things. So, that's what happens there. But anyways... So, but according to the Elder, in his third speech, if you play, you know, in Truth mode, you know, I was the first life, the first soul born from Truth. You know, he was created by Truth. And from I came the first of you, the first man, you know, first human, you know, seems to be him. And now, you know, the maker is unmade. You know, it's like my own creation has come to kill me. And one day, you know, you will be in my position. Something will come and kill you too. Something of your creation will come and slay you. And that's what he says there. Meanwhile, you know, then one more bit of dialogue I'm going to read. Because if this is after you beat the soul and then go back, you know, go to him and find him. But you found what you sought. You killed the second god. The one who took my place and created the 4 guardians. The rest of the Titans here grew from lost souls. Some were like you, human. They lacked your conviction for killing. And you know what that dialogue implies. You know, if he's the first god, created by Truth, and he created humans, and then the implication is whatever the second the second god, the Titan soul, which could have been, the souls of Titans, or maybe even the soul of the Titan he is kind of rested upon, who knows. But just like this general, like, the idea of Titans in, you know, personified into a soul, into a being. that we kind of see when you actually look at it is kind of like in this meditative pose, just sitting there. And my thought, and people are confused by this, just sort of like, why does he assume our form? Or, what happens there? And I kind of think my idea is like, that was another human. That was like, like I said, the Buddha, probably not actually the Buddha, but, somebody in a Zen state just resting atop the tower and waiting for something to show up, at peace. And then you show up and immediately kill him. But what he does in retaliation is adopt your form. He molds his body, he's the Titan soul. So what he does is, he has the Titan soul within him, but he still has a body. So when you try to absorb him, he just basically copies your body and then spits you back out. And so he mainly just adopts your form just as a way to just sort of like meet your maker. I am you, you are me. Now this is how we shall fight, Who better to kill you than yourself, kind of, is what my thought process is. So that's why he assumes your form. And that's why when you kill him, he separates from the soul entirely. Because, his soul is the Titan soul, his body is his body. It is a separate part of him. Those two things are separated because his body is imitating your soul, or, your form, but the Titan soul itself is separate. And, possibly also pushing him away now that you've taken that form. Now that he's taken that form, is my assumption. But yeah, that seems to be the second god who then created the Guardians and the Titans. And, the implication, and seems to be, but it's just like, who's our character? And just as everyone's referred to him, it's like, apparently his name is Adam. Again, the first, man, one of the first humans, and, originally created by the Elder, the first creation of truth. So what happened there, is this human, or, Solar Pellet's idea is like maybe this Adam is a reincarnation of that Adam, where, you died or you were expelled by creating that arrow. I'm not going to get into it. Again, I'll link his video. But, for whatever reasons, like you are you are the first human is who we're playing as, put in a new, younger body, having split your soul up in order to slay this, slay the Titans, slay the Titan soul. And, in the end game, getting to truth. That, omniscient deity, which kind of where I'm at. Well, now, talking about truth real quick, where, truth is very, what was it? Biblically accurate angel. That's kind of what it is. This like wheel with eyes, you've probably seen that picture. It is very similar to a picture of just sort of like, here's some representations of biblically accurate angels and what they actually looked like according to the Bible. And they're just like these horrendous, monstrous beings. And, I don't think it's a coincidence that truth actually does look like one of those approximations. Especially like the eyed wheel, just like this all-seeing, like, a representation of an all-seeing, an all-seeing circle, a wheel that continues to roll, a repeating cycle that knows and sees all, it is very, I wouldn't say on the nose because it's so obscure, but, it's a very interesting thing to think about. But the implication seems to be, and truth, it is right in its name. That's what it is. It is truth. It is just like omniscience. And, apparently if you translate the Titanese in its, in its many layered eyes, or many layers of its eyes, apparently no translation seems to be life from chaos, truth from life, all from truth. And that's what that's supposed to mean. He came to being from chaos. He created life, and, and all life came from truth. The opposite to chaos. This like, am I making sense? This all-knowing, just like chaos is amorphous and random and destructive. Truth is just sort of like, well, at least in that case, truth is like definitive. It is the embodiment of, definitive meaning, if you will. At least one idea. But, that's when you first see him, as you see him in that first cutscene. And, it's kind of creepy, looking back on it, where it's like, there's this well-defined art style, like pixel art style, and all like the creatures are, interesting to look at and weird. But then truth happens. And, it's like, it's such a simple yet defined being, where it's like the eye, this massive eye flowing with runes, as like everything just goes like pure white, pure black, and just like the oddly smooth animation of truth as it transforms and moves. It is a whole different ball game when you fight truth. It's very cool. But when you kill it, it seems like, well, when you beat it, if you will, something else happens. And then I guess the ending translation, translating the words and symbols that go into Adam is, I am you, and you are I. If either lives, neither will die. And that seems to be the case, where you defeated it, but that just means you become one with truth. Adam is now truth. And kind of at least how I'm reading it, going very off of like the biblical, godly interpretations that Solar Pellets has brought up, where I'm kind of thinking, how do you want to put it? Adam, son of God, if you will, the first human, created to just like begin prospering humanity. The elder is, the first God, maybe God itself, but truth is something beyond God. It is just a universal, a universal truth. It is something, it's the question. It's just like, if God created everything, what created God? Truth created God. Chaos created God. Who created truth? Chaos did. Where did chaos come from? It, it's random and wild. It can be whatever it wants to be. If that's making sense. If, any of that is making sense. I'm babbling, I've met my quota, I figured I'd ramble on for a while, kind of like dissecting all this interesting stuff. And I like, where this goes. So yeah, that's at least where that's at. But again, a lot of this actually is even clarified further when you play Death's Door, and how it bridges the gap in a way I didn't appreciate when I originally played it, on the channel here. And now going back, it is actually ingenious how Acid Nerve like created that bridge, and how it's affected the world of Death's Door. And again, I can go into the lore of just like, how does the lore of Titan Souls work into the lore of Death's Door? And they even explain it, and explain the lore of Titan Souls even further. But I won't get into that here. That's not what this is. But, so yeah, if you want to, again, I'd also recommend Solar Pellets' video on Death's Door if you want that, if you want more information. But that's kind of where Titan Souls is at. And how it weaves into Death's Door, and, how that ends, it makes me fascinated to see what Acid Nerve's going to do with their next game, whenever that might be. So, I'm behind these guys. I wish them the best of luck. Thank you, you two, and everyone you've hired to create these awesome games between Titan Souls and Death's Door. And yeah, this was a lot of fun revisiting this. And, I've had, this was great. I meant to do this sooner, and I'm kind of glad, I've waited this long to do it. After the context of Death's Door, and going back and kind of like going into this rabbit hole, and just like going through, cool boss fights. It's a great system to do like this one shot, one kill boss fight system where, it's just like, you just got to get off that one good shot and it's over, but you do not have margin for error. You die in one shot, and, the margin for error can be slim, but, you can keep trying over and over again. You're not penalized for, messing up a billion times and such. So, it's fun to just like keep going through, and, it was cool to like see, it's like, the first time I played this, I died so many times, and it took me so long, and I still missed stuff, and then playing again and again, and finding these strategies, and finding all these, not shortcuts, but yeah, these strategies, these, cool combos and such that have cut down on my time, cut down on my deaths, and it's just made me feel, it just feels cool. and, then exploring the deeper, philosophical and, existential ideas between truth, gods, and man. So, yeah, Titan Souls is a lot of fun. Hopefully this has been an enjoyable watch. Hopefully all my babbling is coherent and you enjoyed listening to me ramble. And yeah, there you have it. This long play of Titan Souls. Figured one shot was the best way to do this, and I feel like it worked out. So, yeah, I suppose there's even more stuff I want to talk about, especially involving Death's Door. There were some things I didn't cover, because, if some of the things are, some of the things you fight, like Elhanan could have been, like, one of the last guys to show up and is now, maybe in search of truth and is now protecting it. All the guardians that have their connections to, biblical script and what that means for how they exist in this world, and all the other creatures you find, the Yeti, the plants, are, not creations of the god, but the lost souls scattered, and culminating into either these creatures to make them or to be a part of them, like the Avarice chest, that you could argue it's like, is that thing the culmination of the greedy souls who died in search of treasure and not truth, So, just a lot of interesting stuff. And again, coming back to Titan Souls and looking back on it, you can see, again, stuff I didn't appreciate about Death's Door because I didn't, have Titan Souls in my mind. But a lot of overlap between, like, the bosses, like the Yeti and I forget the name of the, big bulb spiny thorn plant, which is actually very alike the first boss in Death's Door. Even some of the world layout's very interesting. And again, the stuff regarding truth and Death's Door is fascinating, but I'm already saying too much. So I'm going to wrap up here. So yeah, Titan Souls, very good game. Highly recommend you give this a shot, even if you just watched all this and, listen to my ramble. And I hope, again, my esoteric rambling is making sense. Or at the very least, if I'm not making sense, go watch the people I'm talking about to make it make sense. Play Titan Souls, play Death's Door, but if you're not going to do that, give a shot, watch Solar Pellets or the No Clip documentary on Death's Door. Highly recommend both those things. And yeah, I've not checked out any other stuff Solar Pellets has done. I'll have to look at some of his other stuff. I'm very interested in that Bloodborne video he's got titled. Not to be, malicious, just like, all right, let's hear your thoughts on why you think Bloodborne's the worst one. At least whenever he made it. But, I'm not going to argue. But again, check out those videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. And, good luck. Go find the truth in your life. I don't know how better than that. With that all being said, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe and all that. This is Timmara signing off. And thank you for watching me play Titan Souls.